Welcome to the channel, guys. Today, we're diving into the inspiring and heartwarming true story behind the 2015 movie, McFarland, USA. This movie isn't just about running, it's about grit, family, and how champions can come from the most unexpected places. So, if you're ready for a feel-good underdog story, stick around as we break down McFarland, USA. Our story starts with Jim White, played by Kevin Costner, who's a high school football coach with a bit of a reputation. He's lost his job at yet another school and takes a teaching and coaching position in the small, mostly Latino town of McFarland, California. Now, McFarland isn't exactly a place where Jim wants to be. It's an agricultural town where most of the families work long hours in the fields, and Jim sees it as a dead-end job. But little does he know, this town and its students are about to change his life. At first, Jim's just trying to fit in and do his job, but everything changes when he notices something about his students. Some of these boys are fast, like really fast. These kids, especially Thomas Valles, can run long distances effortlessly. And why? Because they've spent their whole lives running to and from the fields where they work alongside their families. Jim realizes he's sitting on a goldmine of natural running talent, so he gets an idea: why not start a cross-country team? Now, cross-country might not seem like a big deal at first, but in a town like McFarland, it becomes a way out. Jim sees that for these boys, running is their chance to do something great, something bigger than what's expected of them. But here's the catch: the boys don't exactly know what cross-country is, and their families? Well, they're not so thrilled about their kids running when they could be working. So, Jim has to win over the boys and their families. And this is where the heart of the story lies. These boys come from families who need them to work in the fields, and running seems like a distraction from their real responsibilities. But Jim starts building relationships with them, learning their stories, understanding their struggles, and becoming part of their lives. There's a moment where you see Jim joining the boys in the fields, picking produce, and it hits in just how tough their lives are. This bond grows over time, and the boys start to see running as more than just a sport. It's their chance to escape the cycle of poverty, even if just for a little while. Slowly, the team comes together, and their training begins.
Danny Diaz?
Hey, we needed 7.
Yeah, 7 runners, not 6 runners, and Danny Diaz.
Hey, Danny's our anchor. Hey, I mean it, all right? You're my anchor, Danny, and not because you're fat.
But the road ahead isn't easy. Now, McFarland's cross-country team isn't exactly what you'd call a favorite in the league. They're going up against wealthier schools with better resources, better equipment, and more experience. These other teams look down on McFarland, seeing them as just a bunch of farm kids. But that's where they're wrong, because these boys have something the other teams don't: grit. Their everyday lives in the fields have made them tougher than any team they'll face. Thomas Valles, the team's best runner, deals with pressure from his family, and at times, he doesn't know if he can handle the stress of school, running, and helping his family. Then, there are moments where the team questions if they even belong in these competitions. But Jim pushes them to believe in themselves, to see that their hard work in the fields makes them stronger than they realize. Alright, folks, let's dive into the climactic moment of McFarland, USA, the final race at the California State Championship. The stakes are high, and the tension is palpable as the boys line up at the starting line. McFarland is up against some of the best schools in the state, and everyone is counting on them. As the race kicks off, something goes wrong almost immediately. One of the McFarland runners, caught up in the excitement, takes off way too fast. And we all know starting too quick can totally wreck your chances in a long-distance race.
What's he doing?
Jose, back it down! Find your pace!
It's too fast! He's gonna die!
Then make up for it! Make up for it!
Now, as the race unfolds, we see the effects of that mistake. The team begins to struggle, and just when it seems like they might not recover, we witness something incredible. Enter Danny Diaz, the so-called fat guy of the team. He's always been the slowest runner, and people have underestimated him throughout the entire season. But this is where he surprises everyone. As his teammates start to fade, Danny digs deep and starts to pick up speed. He begins passing other runners, pushing himself harder than anyone thought he could. This is a pivotal moment for McFarland. Danny's unexpected burst of energy helps shift the momentum. While the other boys are trying to find their rhythm again, Danny's determination boosts their spirits and inspires them to push harder. It's a true underdog moment. This kid who was always seen as the least likely to succeed becomes a key player in their team's fate. And as the finish line approaches, Danny's effort helps propel McFarland forward.
And even then, it's not gonna matter unless...
Do it. Yeah.
That's not Danny Diaz.
Come on, Danny.
That's not Danny Diaz!
Thanks to him and the collective drive of the team, they managed to clinch victory, proving that teamwork and heart can truly make a difference. They win the state championship against all odds, a moment that not only brings tears of joy to the community but also cements the B. So, that's the story of McFarland, USA. If you're into inspirational true stories, this is a movie you definitely don't want to miss. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.